Hey, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be talking about VR, virtual reality, because it's definitely been on everyone's minds this last couple of weeks, and especially this last week, most notably because we finally got confirmation that the Oculus Rift will be releasing very soon, and we also got its fairly outrageous price point. So again, it was just announced a few days ago that on March 28th this year, 2016, just 2 months or so from now, we will officially have the Oculus Rift released and available to people, and that's going to be really the first time that some sort of, I guess if you want to call it legitimate or viable virtual reality, will be available in people's homes. Now, the price that they announced was $599, $600 for virtual reality, for quote-unquote consumer-friendly virtual reality. Now, this is definitely more than a lot of people, including myself, thought that the price was going to be. Because of that, there's definitely been the fair share of negative attention towards the Oculus Rift, and Palmer Luckey, the guy who created the Oculus Rift, and all these different things. It's just a lot more money than people expected. So I've been kind of taking this whole approach with this news that it really makes me wonder if virtual reality is ready for the consumer market, and it's what I really wanted to discuss is just overall my feelings on virtual reality, because we just got all of these details about the Oculus Rift. We know that Sony has been working on its Project Morpheus. There's some sort of already available Samsung kind of sort of VR headset or something that it's made by Samsung. It's $100. You plug it into your Samsung phone, and it lets you do a couple things. I have no idea if it's for gaming or navigating apps or just like an augmented reality kind of thing, but it's apparently what it sounds like. It's a headset that plugs into your phone, and I haven't seen it. I just know that it's $99, and it's available now, I believe. So, with those couple of things happening and, Project Morpheus, or I'm sorry, they changed it from Project Morpheus to PlayStation VR. So PlayStation VR is probably sometime by the end of the year, at least an announcement of the details and the price by the end of the year. There's just a lot moving on the side, on the front of virtual reality and consumer virtual reality. This is stuff being made available in people's homes, not the stuff that scientists are using for certain health or medical benefits, or this isn't the military application for certain virtual reality uses and things like that. This is the stuff, that 10 or 15, 20 years ago, people who are my age and older would grow up watching movies and thinking of the future and thinking virtual reality is the ultimate. It's the ultimate future. It's the ultimate gaming experience. It's the ultimate gateway into another world. And now, here we are on the cusp of it actually being real, and whether or not it's going to live up to that, I don't know, but I tend to think that it probably won't. So like I was saying a few minutes ago, what I really just wanted to get out as far as my opinions on this in this video is that with all this information, the price of Oculus Rift, the rumored price of PlayStation VR, and the kinds of PCs that are necessary to run something like the Oculus Rift, I just don't think that we're ready as a consumer, as a medium, to have virtual reality available. It just doesn't seem to make sense. So there's a couple of things going on here. The Oculus Rift is $600. That's more than the $300 to $350 price point that they were kind of teasing for a long time. More than I think a lot of us were ready to pay for it and were expecting to hear. Also, they have basically said that you need anywhere from like an $1,100 to $1,300 PC bare minimum just to run the thing. It needs like 4 USB 3.0s and a fifth USB 2.0 or something to be able to run the thing. I mean, it's insane what's going on, what this thing requires. Also, there have been rumors, and this is only a rumor, so we can't take this as fact yet. I think that this is actually overblown a little bit. But apparently on an Amazon UK or an Amazon Germany, maybe Amazon Japan, some non-North American Amazon site, there was a rumored listing of PlayStation VR for like $1,200 or $1,300, something outrageous and insane. Now, I have to admit that I don't really believe that number. I think that was either a mistake or it's just overblown or someone's making it up. But I do think that it maybe is lending the idea of where the price might actually fall for PlayStation VR. It could be leading us in that direction. Maybe it is going to be similar to what the Oculus Rift is, $400, $500, $600, $700, something in that range. And that's really going to be telling as to whether or not what I'm really getting at here is true, that we're just not ready to have virtual reality available to the consumer. Now, the company behind Oculus Rift, I think, which is just called Oculus Rift, of course, purchased by Facebook like 2 years ago or so, 2 or 3 years ago, they've stated that even at $600, this is just crazy to me. Even at $600, the Oculus Rift, apparently, it's either losing money or not making money. I don't have it in front of me. I can't remember which quote they said. And those are different things, to be fair. If you're losing money, you're in the negative. If you're not making money and you're just breaking even, that's a slightly better position to be in. But regardless, there's no profit being made. So the tech that's going into the Oculus Rift is fairly expensive to produce on a mass level and make available to sell to people to take into their homes. And that's I have to admit that I really didn't think that that was going to be the case. And I think that it's just, they talked about each screen, because there's two different screens, one for your left eye, one for your right eye in the Oculus Rift, as well as the PlayStation VR. Apparently in the Oculus Rift, they're two 4K little screens. So like the resolution and the picture is probably phenomenal, super fantastic. And I totally get that. But to me, it shows that if that's how you have to make VR usable and applicable so that people will feel satisfied with it, and if that still costs $600 and still potentially losing money, then it's too early. And this is something that I also don't think that people are needing or requesting. That's half of why I think that we might not be ready for virtual reality. Half of it is obviously the hugely steep buy-in price. The fact that on the Oculus Rift side, you also need a very hefty PC to be able to run it just bare minimum, let alone to probably pretty good specifications. And then the fact that I don't think anyone really needs this. No one in gaming is like, this is the next step we feel. Gaming as it stands really isn't getting it done. I'm feeling stagnated. There's nothing that's exciting. Where are we going to go as an industry? Blah, blah, blah. No one's really saying that or feeling that. Gaming is still doing incredibly well. PC gaming is doing fantastic. The PlayStation 4 has been breaking records with its console sales. Xbox One is doing very well. We know the Wii U, unfortunately, has been a struggle, but there's still a huge fan base, and the software has sold through the roof for the Wii U. So across the board, there are extremely positive numbers. Not to mention even the 3DS. The portable market still has legs, even in the face of the mobile competition. It doesn't seem to be slowing down. Basically, gaming is doing just fine. No one is wondering what this next thing is going to be. So while the idea of virtual reality is cool, and I admit, I'll tell you guys right here and now, to be completely transparent, I absolutely want to try it. I want to take a quality virtual reality helmet, not that $99 Samsung piece of crap sounding thing. I would love to take an Oculus Rift or PlayStation VR and put that thing on my head and see what it's really like. Without question, I think it could be super cool as a novelty. I think that we've been dealing with how gimmicks have been perceived in the gaming industry the last couple of years and generations, especially with the Wii and motion control after that and all this and that and touchscreens. What qualifies as a gimmick and what constitutes as something that's actually, revolutionary for gaming or pushing gaming forward. And I think that the virtual reality probably is going to be qualified more as a gimmick overall. Like I said, it could be really cool. And if it was cheap enough, I would like to have one. If it was like $150, $200 max for a quality one, like an Oculus Rift, I would absolutely be curious to say, hey, yeah, I'll pick one up for that price just to see what it's like, to show it off to friends, to have some party nights and be like, hey, try this on for 10 minutes. But I don't want to come home and play in the next 5 or 10 years and play the next Zelda or the next Mass Effect or the next Grand Theft Auto, for 4, 5, 6 hours at a time with a fucking virtual reality helmet on my head. I have like a girlfriend and a life and other things to do outside of gaming, and I don't want to be so cut off from the world with these things. For novelty things, for how, if you're watching PewDiePie or Markiplier or someone play a game in a video, that's what they're great for to me. Little 5, 10, 15-minute spurts of like a scary game or something. I think it's neat for that application. And as Rich of Review Tech USA has said a couple of times, obviously the medical and military fields have a lot of benefit to gain from virtual reality technology. Totally agree with that. Use it for those applications. That's what I think it should be for. On the gaming space, I just don't care. Like, yes, I want to try one, but I don't care. And I'm shocked that they're still releasing this thing at $600. Why didn't they wait another year or two so that the tech could be more affordable? And if they could sell the thing at least at $350 or $400, I'm telling you, people would be having a different conversation. I probably wouldn't be making this video about virtual reality as a whole and whether or not people are even interested in it. And I think that the reception and the response to the Oculus Rift would probably be more positive in a pre-launch world. Granted, for all I know, Oculus Rift comes out in March. It's $600, but people buy it anyway, and it blows everyone's minds. It's so amazing, and all of these games being created for Oculus Rift and for PlayStation VR turn out to be fantastic. They're using the tech properly, they're AAA experiences, and they make gaming better. Maybe I'm wrong. I will absolutely tell you guys, maybe I'm wrong. But I will also tell you, I don't think that I am. I feel pretty good that it's a neat thing that people want to try and should be sold at the novelty price that I think it should be. You know, I don't think it needs to be this $600 or $700 thing. And on the Oculus side, again, having a really expensive PC kind of makes it even worse, really. But that's basically what's going on there. You know, that's how I feel about virtual reality. It's cool looking. I want to try it. I'd pay far less money to have one for the novelty of it, but I don't think it's what's necessary for gaming. I don't think people want it, need it, or are asking for it, and it's obviously far too expensive to release on a consumer level yet, in my opinion. But I guess that remains to be seen. Let's see how the world reacts and responds to it. If the Oculus Rift is a hit, both commercially and critically, then hey, we could be singing a different tune in a couple of months. And you know me, if I turn out to be wrong on how people react and what it's like once I've tried it, I will tell you. I will happily and freely admit it. But as I said, I don't think I'm wrong. I feel pretty good about this. So that's what's going on. Share your thoughts about virtual reality, the Oculus Rift, the price, PlayStation VR, all these different things below. I definitely want to hear you guys chat about it. Thanks as always for tuning in. This is Rob of Novelty Review, and I'll catch you guys next time on another video.